So, hi everybody, welcome to another language corner. As always, this is a show. I say as always, we have only done this once before. This is the second episode of the language corner, and this is a video, right? Where I go through interesting vocabulary from the Monday show, which is the main show of the Learn English with Football project. And this Monday show obviously is broadcast every Monday at 8 p.m. Central European time. And this is where you have the opportunity to listen to several football fans, including myself, who discuss football. And I think it's a great opportunity to soak into, to sort of get exposed to authentic English, authentic football fans talking about this beautiful game. In this video, I will be teaching you because I'm an English teacher. So the idea of these videos is that I go through bits and pieces from the main show and I explain it to you. So without further ado, let's dive right in. And last but not least, we've got Jack here, but not the same Jack from last week. We had another Jack, a Brighton fan, but today this is the first time ever we've got a Tottenham fan on the show.
Real
Ooh.
controversial. Two Arsenal fans and a West Ham fan, but no, it's good to be here. Nice to meet you all. Looking forward
Yeah,
to chatting
likewise.
about the weekend's action.
Likewise, and it's very brave of you to come here, and respect.
And we made a strong start to the season, so I can show my face.
That's right. That's right. Controversial. Two Arsenal fans and a West Ham fan. The Arsenal fan was wearing a West Ham t-shirt, that being me. But still, the word we are looking at here is controversial. So it is an adjective, and if something is controversial, it is causing or it is likely to cause disagreement. So this is something you may say and that people will start arguing about, or people will strongly disagree with, or it's just something that doesn't lead to peace. Yeah, it could lead to disagreement, it could lead to a heated debate, it could potentially even lead to a fist fight. Hopefully not. This is online, so that would be a bit hard, but you know what I mean. Okay, so do you sometimes have controversial opinions? Do you sometimes say things that are controversial? Let me know in the comments down below. So what do you guys think about Gabriel Jesus? So fantasy football aside, Clive, fantasy football aside, yeah. Isn't he a fantastic signing for Arsenal? What do you think?
Absolutely quality signing for Arsenal. Joel mentioned that he wasn't such a great player for City, but then, without sounding rude, without meaning to sound rude, he's a bigger fish in a smaller pond at Arsenal. And with the players that he had around him at Manchester City, it was very difficult to become, the big shark in the water, if you want. Whereas at Arsenal, he has some great players around him. Don't get me wrong, but he seems to be able to display his talent a little more easily, freely.
He's a bigger fish in a smaller pond. That is an interesting idiom that Clive used. And of course, we're talking about Gabriel Jesus or Gabriel Jesus, whatever way we pronounce his name. Jesus, possibly. Jesus Christ. I don't know. But the point is here that Gabriel Jesus has a more important role at Arsenal than he did in Manchester City. In Manchester City, he was just a small fish because there were so many sharks there, so many big players, right? But at Arsenal, he is a bigger fish. He's a big fish in a small pond. Now, saying small pond, it could be slightly offensive towards Arsenal because it suggests that Arsenal are a smaller club than Manchester City, which is obviously not true. possibly in the recent years, Manchester City have been the bigger team. Let's be honest. But you know what I mean? I'm an Arsenal fan, so I shouldn't be really saying this. Anyway, a big fish in a smaller pond. It describes a person who is very well known or important in a small group, but is not known or important outside. That is the idea, and it's a really useful idiom. What about you? Would you describe yourself as a big fish in a small pond? Do you have a group of friends like that, or do you play for a team where you could describe yourself like that? Let me know in the comments. So, simple question for Jack. So, are you afraid of Arsenal this season then? Because like in the recent years, we haven't been able to celebrate this St. Tottenham's
Yeah,
Day.
well, it's been so long, you can't even remember what it's called. It's been 6 years since
unfortunately, it's
you
true.
guys have celebrated this very sad day. But
The only consolation is that you haven't won anything in that time. But that's the only little consolation.
We look very strong again. We were really good the second half of last season, and I think there's no reason why we won't continue that form this season. The squad is stronger. Conte is more settled.
Squad is stronger. Conte is more settled. So here we are looking at the adjective settled. What does it mean if you're settled? Often we use it when referring to a job, or it could be a school. So here we're talking about Conte being Tottenham Hotspur manager. So he's settled in his job, meaning he's comfortable. He's more familiar with what he has to do at Tottenham. And that's not a good thing for an Arsenal fan, right? Because that means that Spurs are they are looking stronger. Conte is looking like he is where he belongs, and that's not a good sign. So, yeah, so I understand why Jack, a Tottenham fan, might feel very optimistic about this season. But it's just the manager, right? It's all about the players, about the history, about the atmosphere, the culture at the club. And let's be honest, they are Spurs, so things could go sideways. Okay, Clive, I need to ask you about something. So,
Go.
I watched one of the videos from the Hammers Chat, the Hammers Chat YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And they were talking about the fact that you guys had black shirts on the hottest day of the season. Why? Why was that? Who made that decision, Clive?
Well, actually, that decision was probably made by this company right here because they haven't released the third kit yet.
Oh, okay.
And our third kit is always a lighter kit than the second, the away kit. So now we have claret and blue, we have black, and we have no alternative.
That decision was probably made by this company like that because they haven't released their third kit yet. What's a kit? A kit, ladies and gentlemen, is the clothing used for an activity such as a sport. Obviously, we talk about a football kit, and a football kit includes the shirt, the shorts, and the socks. So, do you know your team's third kit, or at least the second kit? Let me know. It's not kid, by the way, not kid as in child, kit with t sound, kit, right? Let me know in the comments if you know your team's third or second kit. Tell me what the colors are in the comments. We need to talk about the Chelsea Spurs game. So
Yes.
that we need to ask Jack. So 2-2 draw. That's amazing, especially given the circumstances. Jack,
Absolutely.
you must take it.
Absolutely take that and run. Yeah, we were quite poor yesterday for the vast majority of the game. We were really outplayed, especially first half. Couldn't put any passes together. Chelsea were absolutely smothering us in the midfield. Every time the ball came into Kane or Son, they were just Thiago Silva all over Kane like a rash.
Chelsea were absolutely smothering us. You're damn right they were, Jack. And to smother someone could mean to kill someone by covering their face so that they cannot breathe anymore. Please don't do that to anyone, okay? You don't want to end up in prison, right? Now, to smother someone could also mean to prevent something from developing or growing freely. So here we are talking about smothering their tactic, right? We're talking about how Tottenham were lined up, what tactics they were given by Antonio Conte, and they were smothered by Chelsea, meaning they couldn't do what they wanted to do. Son, Kane, Kulusevski, none of that was happening. They were smothered by Chelsea, sort of like suffocated. Right. Is your team good at smothering other teams? Let me know in the comments down below.
Then the stoppage time, Harry Kane popping up. Might have been some altercations in the box between Romero and Cucurella before that. But
yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. So did you guys, Joel, you are smiling. So did you see the memes? Did you see did you see the footage from that? So basically, Cucurella, yeah, he has this long hair, this curly hair, and someone from the Spurs team pulled his hair, and nothing happened. VAR didn't go back to that. So did you see that, Joel?
Was this for the Kane goal at the end?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I saw that.
Should the goal be disallowed because of someone pulling someone's hair? Do you think?
Yeah, it should.
Is that a good reason for doing that? Some altercations in the box between Romero and Cucurella before that, but to be honest with you, that's an understatement from Jack. I would go further than that. It wasn't an altercation. It was foul play by Romero, and he should have been sent off. But VAR didn't go back to it, and then Harry Kane scored the equalizer. So honestly, I don't agree with what happened there, but I'm here to teach you English, yeah? So I don't work as a VAR referee. Unfortunately not. Which means I will stick to my guns. I'll stick to teaching English. And I'm looking at the word altercations. Here it's used in plural. It is a countable noun, and it means a loud argument or disagreement. So obviously, it was used in a kind of a humorous way by Jack because basically he meant the foul play. He meant the fact that Romero pulled Cucurella's hair, and apparently it's an altercation. It's like a disagreement or an argument, but it's just another way to put it. Sometimes this is what happens when British people speak. They like to use understatements. They like to be a little bit indirect. And that's what happened here. So I would like to ask you, how often do you get involved in altercations with other people? What do I mean by altercations? It could be anything like arguments or fights, something like that. So how often do you get involved in altercations with other people? Let me know in the comments.
Conte kind of celebrated in Tuchel's face, which obviously wound him up a little bit, understandably. And when Chelsea scored their second goal, Tuchel went dancing down the touchline, running into the corner to celebrate. So it was kind of building up. And then obviously when we scored in the very last minute, tensions were running high, and then the two managers did their handshake, and it was all quite childish stuff. I think Conte felt like Tuchel was maybe grabbing his hand too hard, and then he wasn't letting go, and then Tuchel was telling him, "Look me in the eye," and they were it's very silly stuff.
Conte kind of celebrated in Tuchel's face, which obviously wound him up a little bit. So I'm looking at the verb to wind someone up. Here it's used in the plural, not plural. What am I talking about? In the past tense form, yeah? To wind someone up, he wound me up. What does it mean? It means to annoy someone. It means to upset someone intentionally. You do it because, it's just a way to provoke someone. And that's what Conte did. He was kind of celebrating in Tuchel's face. So that didn't bode well with Tuchel. He didn't enjoy that much. It was winding him up. He got wound up by Antonio Conte. I think Antonio Conte is good at this, but let's be honest, Tuchel is, he's also quite good at this, I would say. He doesn't play the second fiddle, does he? So I would like to ask you, what can wind you up? What would wind you up in football or in general? Let me know in the comments. Villain of the week.
Uh, yeah, I mean, my villain of the week's a player that I have a lot of sympathy for. I think he gets not quite as much respect as he deserves, but wasn't a great week for him. David De Gea is my villain of the week.
My villain of the week is a player that I have a lot of sympathy for. Obviously, Joel was referring to David De Gea. Now, if you have a lot of sympathy for someone, that doesn't mean that you like the person, or that doesn't mean that you fancy the person, as some English learners think, because in their first language, this word is used a bit differently. No, it doesn't mean that you are falling in love with someone. Not really. It means that you understand how someone else feels. You understand. It's sort of similar to empathy. Yeah, you sort of, if you have sympathy for what happened to David De Gea, you are able to get into David De Gea's shoes. You're able to sympathize with him. You're able to know how David De Gea feels. So in this case, he's going to feel very, very down. He's going to be depressed, dejected, disenfranchised because of what happened. So Joel understands how he feels. He has a lot of sympathy for him. Yet he gave him the Villain of the Week award. That's ironic, Joel. But anyway, I would like to ask you guys if you have sympathy for, let's say, Harry Maguire. Do you have sympathy for Harry Maguire? Let me know in the comments. Obviously, Harry Maguire is not living up to his price tag. He has been, I think, one of the most expensive defenders in the world, and he has been terrible for the last 2 seasons. So I wonder if you have sympathy for him. Let me know in the comments. And that's pretty much it for today's language corner. I hope you guys enjoyed this. As always, I need your support. This is still a young project and I need your support. So please, if you could give this video a like, that would be highly appreciated. And the idea is that you guys practice your English. You guys make comments, leave comments below the video. I ask you a lot of questions, so you don't have to answer all of them, but pick those that you find interesting. And of course, don't forget that next Monday, there's another Learn English with Football live show. So I hope to see you there. Cheers, everyone. Bye.